Okay, so let's talk about Hawaii. I am here. This is the second, what is Saturday? Today's Saturday, yeah, second full day. So we got here Thursday evening. Yesterday, I actually didn't film, and I was really sad with myself because I wanted to do it every day. And then I was just exhausted. It was noisy in the suite. I'm here with my two kids and my son-in-law, and they were still partying. And by the time it would be quiet enough for me to do it, it was late and Mama was tired. And I was like, well, look, I might have to do 2 videos tomorrow or something. I don't know. But anyway, here we are. So we had a busy, busy day. Yesterday, I thought, it was good that I kind of just warmed into the vacation, right? We got here Thursday, as I said. We kind of just had enough time to get the rent-a-car, stop for provisions, get to the room, kind of get settled in, go have a decent dinner, and just kind of go, whew, we're here, you know? And then yesterday, we did more resort exploring versus island exploring. And that worked well because, again, I didn't want to push it too hard. I don't want to feel like I have to recover from the vacation before I can get back to work. And I'm not eager to get back to work and thinking about that at this moment. I really am just thinking about the vacation. But, sometimes if you do too much, then you need a rest from your vacation before you can even function again. So I also really spent some time just being in the moment. I decided that this trip, since it wasn't to help get my daughter engaged, it wasn't to help get my daughter married, it wasn't to, whatever else, it's just a vacation. I want to do what I want to do, right? And even though I'm here with the whole crew, sometimes when you travel in packs, it can be hard to get the things done that you really want to do. And I found myself kind of like, you know what, at a certain point, I'm going to go wander on my own and let you guys do you. And it worked out. My son wanted to watch, there was a football game on. It was like a championship college football game. So he stayed in the room and watched that for part of the time. And I went out and explored the resort. It has so many different things to see. Still haven't seen all of it, but I kind of found my little spot. I wandered around by myself for a while, and I felt good about getting the exercise, getting some sun, and moving around. And then I found a spot to just sit down, kind of like a cabana, and that overlooked the ocean and just kind of chill. And I didn't feel like I had to do anything else. I didn't have to do any more walking. I didn't have to do any more exploring. I didn't have to feel like I was, taking advantage of all of the amenities, just kind of hanging out. It felt good. And the air on my body, it was nice, right? And so, it's just one of those things where you may plan all of these things in your itinerary, and then you have to be easy with yourself and recognize that it's okay to not be in high gear all the time. It's the same with work, right? You're gonna give it all you can anyway, but when work is done, and there should be a time when work is done, you should be able to unplug a bit. You should be able to just relax and not feel like you're not being productive if you're not 100%, full tilt, even at home, right? So for this trip, I'm really trying to be intentional about that. I took some time to myself, which I needed. I journaled a little bit. I just enjoyed the view. We kind of thought about what we would do later when the kids finally did catch up to me. Hung out a little bit together, and then we split up again. They went and saw Luau, the couple, the newlyweds. And my son watched the rest of the football game. I took a little bit more time to myself, and then we went and had dinner together, just me and my son, which was lovely. And, shared a couple of plates and shared some good conversation and just enjoyed each other, which is nice. And went to bed at a reasonable time. I got up this morning and we realized yesterday was kind of a lot in terms of the money we spent for kind of a mediocre breakfast. And so one of the things that I did do yesterday was go to, that was my daughter passing by. One of the things that I did do was go to the market and get a few things, a few more things, so that we could have breakfast in our suite. We're staying in a spot that has like a full kitchen. So got up this morning, we had a nice breakfast here, took our time with that, saved probably $100 at least just on the breakfast. And that's one of the tips I would suggest too, right? When you're traveling, especially, you know, if you're gonna pay for more than one person, it can get expensive. And so I would say choose your poison, right? So yesterday the newlyweds chose to go to the luau. The luau was expensive. I don't know why it was so expensive, but you know, Hawaii is expensive in general anyway. But we've been to a luau before on another island. They wanted to see this one here at this particular location, and my son wasn't as interested and I wasn't as interested. So like I said, we went to dinner, and our dinner for the both of us was less than the price of one of their admission tickets to the luau. So then that means, you know, I can spend more money on other activities and experiences. So probably tomorrow he'll do the dolphin experience, and that'll be awesome for him, and I'll take a bunch of pictures and he'll have that. But today was a little bit more action-packed. And so after we had the breakfast, we head out. We kind of drove around the island and stopped to see a few sites, and it was cool. Like, we did the thing together. Probably tomorrow we'll split up a little bit again. And you know, I think that's a good tip, is that if you really have some things you want to do, don't spend half your day waiting to coordinate with everybody else. When you're in a group, you kind of have to do your own thing sometimes, or it won't happen. Unless you're doing like a retreat or an event that's like a group think kind of a situation, right? Where there's like a set agenda, and the whole group's doing this and the whole group's doing that, and the whole group's gonna eat lunch, and then the whole group's gonna whatever. If you're trying to do that with just like a group of girlfriends or your family, sometimes they're gonna get on your nerves, because this one won't come on, this one, you know, needs to do 10 more things, this one wants to go here, this one's ready to go and you're not ready to go. And then you could end up feeling resentful. So, or frustrated or whatever it is. And why do that, right? Your time like this is so precious. So I think you have to be okay with saying, yeah, you guys go do you, I'm gonna go do me, and we'll get back together when we do, and we'll do some things together if that works, and if it doesn't work, then we won't. And we'll be okay with that. And we'll have the vacations that we have. And, you know, today was together time, which was cute. And now they're running around back out to the hot tub, and I'm doing this. So, you know, and later after we finish this video, I probably will figure out what I want to do next. Maybe I'll binge on some, you know, trash TV, or maybe I'll watch something else on YouTube. We don't know. But one thing that was really a highlight, if you're ever traveling in Hawaii on any of the islands, you should definitely check out the Shaka App. The Shaka App is really cool because, and I'm not doing an ad for them, I'm not getting paid from them or anything like that, it's just really cool. It gives a lot of the island history. They play a lot of really cool island music, but it follows along on a driving tour. You drive and it tells you, like, stop here to see this, stop here to see that. It gives you options to kind of personalize your tour. And so you can also save money that way too, because you don't have to pay to get on a tour bus or have someone else take you around and do it. And then you can do it at your own pace. And that was really nice. So, like, you know, we saw a live volcano today. We went through a lava tube, like, you know, like a cave. And oh gosh, we did a few things. We stopped at a few different points, and it was we just did it as we felt, right? We stopped at a poke stand and had some good grub, and got back in the car and kept rolling. We stopped at a farmer's market that we happened to see that had some crafts and arts and things, and bought some stuff from the local folks, which is always good to support the local community here. And they really do appreciate you buying local. And kind of just did our own day, but we hit a lot of the high points that we would have hit if we paid for a really expensive tour. We went to the Black Sand Beach, which is, I recommend, is nice. We saw some turtles that were beached there as well. And so it's kind of action-packed. We passed by a lot of different things. And so I think each day plan, maybe like if it's an island situation like this, maybe like today, we did one side of the island. Maybe another day this week we'll do the other side. And maybe in between it's a resort day so you can breathe and relax. But I'm just learning for myself that you have to allow yourself, time to be in the moment and time to just appreciate what's around you and be open to meandering and to wonder and to surprises and to being spontaneous and to changing your plans. And that makes for the best vacation. I took some pictures. I probably wanted to take some more. I think half the time I was looking just crazy because I was like, in the pictures, going like, look at that. But it wasn't about being glamorous. It was just really about having the experiences. And so, that's what I would say. Splurge on a meal or two. Splurge on a really nice souvenir that you might remember. And then find other ways to economize. For me, usually when I travel, I like to find like a nice piece of jewelry. It doesn't have to be some big expensive thing, but maybe something that's made by the culture. If not that, maybe some piece of art that's from there. Or clothing that is significant to the local culture. I think those are fun things to keep. They have a good story with them. Usually you feel good about supporting whoever the artisan was. And, I try to find something that you can't find, in your local Walmart or wherever it is. But so anyway, it's been good. I think hopefully later this year, I've got a couple more trips that I have to take for business, but hopefully later this year, I'll get back on another pleasure trip for another, 4 or 5 days or something like that. And, get to have some more of these fun experiences. It all contributes to the beauty of your life. It all contributes to just having more to talk about, having more opportunities to meet interesting people. One of the stops we met people who travel back and forth between Alaska and Hawaii regularly for some reason. I don't know if they do it for work or whatever, but it was a huge group of people. And they were having their annual barbecue on the beach. And this gentleman said, yeah, come try some of our barbecue. He's like, it's seasoned and everything, I promise, come try. And they were super sweet, but we're not gonna stop and necessarily eat the stranger's barbecue, but they were sincere, they were super sweet, and we just enjoyed having the interaction and then got back on the road and kept rolling. So you just never know what's gonna happen. And sometimes that's a good thing about life, and sometimes that's the not so good thing about life. But I'm choosing to embrace not knowing, but assuming the best. And just taking in the beauty. Even this week that we're in, it's got a gorgeous patio with some chaise lounges that you could just sit there and just even looking out at the view on the patio, just taking the beauty. And so maybe today's busy, active day, and tomorrow's going to be another lay around or chill day. And we'll find out what adds beauty to tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening, and let's talk soon, right? Like and subscribe, and let's hang out some more. And I'll tell you some more of my crazy life and ask you about yours, and we'll figure out ways to keep adding to our radical relaxation plan, because in these times we need it. Not to be ashamed about it, not to feel bad about it, to be really intentional about finding rest, finding peace, finding calm, finding your creativity, allowing for yourself to just feel more of yourself and expand. And so let's do that together. Talk to you soon.